Hey, what's happening? Good morning, guys. What's going on? You guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels. Today is Friday, February 3rd, 2023. We're going to be talking about the news today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to be talking about the markets yesterday. We're going to talk about a little bit about earnings. We're going to talk about Ray Dalio saying cash is not trash. He sees holding cash as a good thing. He doesn't see a lot of opportunities to invest right now. More people are taking out 401k hardship loans. That's up 28% last year. Washington Post had an article: the big tech golden age is fading. More layoffs to discuss. A whole lot more stuff to talk about. A couple kind of housekeeping things before we get into today's news. First off, I would love it if you guys could do me a favor. I've noticed the views on the videos are kind of dropping down a little bit. So do me a favor right now. Hit the thumbs up button. Send a signal to the YouTube algorithm to kind of get this video out to a few more people. And if you wouldn't mind, do me a favor and drop a comment. A comment always kind of helps the algorithm out as well. We're going to be talking a little bit about remote work today. So just to give you guys something to put in the comment section, let me know. If you have a job, if you're not self-employed, if you're working, let me know. Are you back in the office? Are you at home, or are you hybrid? And if you want to elaborate, you can. But just drop a comment. Say either in office, at home, or hybrid. Would kind of love to hear where most people are working now these days. And if you want to elaborate, and I'm still at home, but the company's talking about bringing everybody back March 1st. Let me know. And also, just in these videos in general, if you have a comment, if you have a thought, if you have another interesting story you want to share, drop a comment. It really helps the video get out to more people. It's tough doing news content. Not only is it not evergreen, the video's relevant for a couple days and then it's gone. YouTube also doesn't really reward this type of content. Anything news or current events related, YouTube tends to push kind of mainstream media channels and things like that, not really smaller channels. And also any kind of sensitive topics YouTube doesn't like to push. So I'm guessing YouTube probably doesn't like my thumbnails and doesn't like a lot of the things we discuss. So anything you guys can do to kind of help out and get the video out to more people is great. Cold day here in Chicago. It's I think 1 degree right now. And then one other thing I wanted to talk about, shout out to today's sponsor, QuickFixSynthetic.com. If you are in a jam and need to pass a drug test, check out QuickFixSynthetic.com. I got a link down in the description box below. They have synthetic or fake urine kits to help you pass a drug test. Comes with everything you need. You simply just microwave the bottle for 10 seconds. They got a heat pack that you can throw on there to keep warm, and it's even got a temperature strip. So when you go in to take your drug test, you know that this fake pee is at the proper temperature. They guarantee you'll pass your test. And even if you have a saliva test, I know Amazon does saliva tests. They have a mouthwash that will help you pass saliva tests, and they even have a shampoo that will help you pass a hair follicle test. So check them out. They offer fast shipping, and again, they offer a satisfaction guarantee. Link in the description box below, QuickFixSynthetic.com. One other thing, before we kind of get into talking about the markets and talking about the news today, I know some of you guys out there are affiliate marketers. One thing I would encourage you guys to do, log into some old affiliate programs that you haven't logged into for a while. See if you got any payments. Make sure your links are updated. I happen to check out an affiliate program that I've been a member of since maybe 2018. And I logged in, and to my surprise, I had over $600 in payments due to me, but they had kind of updated their systems, and they didn't have I think before they used to send me checks, and they switched over to paying out via PayPal. So I had to enter my PayPal email address in order to make sure that I got paid, and they didn't have my PayPal email address, right? And they didn't reach out to me. I wouldn't necessarily expect them to. But I submitted my PayPal email address, and I got a check but I got a payment for $638. I also realized that I have a couple videos out there. I have some other channels too. I got a couple videos out there with over 500,000 views that were driving a lot of money in affiliate revenue. And I noticed that when they updated their system, I needed to update my links as well. So I logged into the program, grabbed some new links, and put those links on an affiliate website I have, as well as updated some old YouTube videos. So I'm expecting probably a couple $100 a month that I've just been passing up for the past 2 years. So if you guys are affiliate marketers, make sure check out some of those old affiliate programs, make sure all your links are updated, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's talk about the news yesterday. The Dow finished down 39 points. NASDAQ finished up 1.8%. S&P 500 finished up 1.47%. Top cryptos kind of traded sideways, a couple up 1% or 2, a couple down 1% or 2. Meta finished the day up over 23%. Disney had actually finished the day up, but is tanking after hours. I want to say Disney has an activist investor who just invested in the company and is trying to bring back the old Disney. They said, Disney has great IP. Disney has very loyal fans, but Disney has been doing abysmal for the past couple of years, so they want to turn Disney around. Yesterday, overall, was pretty bad earnings. We got more earnings coming out over the next couple days. Ford posts a full-year net loss and has an ugly fourth quarter. Missed expected sales by 100,000 units, and they're looking to cut costs in 2023, so that could mean layoffs coming to Ford. Starbucks misses expectations. Transactions at cafes plunged 28% since last year. Amazon actually beat earnings but offered light guidance for 2023, and they had made a bad investment in Rivian, which is doing terribly, and they're also kind of shutting down that entire Alexa department. I think they thought a lot of people were going to use Alexas to order things off Amazon. In reality, I think it's just old people who are asking Alexa what the weather is. At least that's how my grandparents use theirs. Apple sales dropped 5%, the largest decline since 2016. Although there's some good news. Shell reports the highest profits in 115 years, and I was kind of surprised. Like, that's a long time, right? So I was curious how long Shell has been around. Shell was actually formed back in 1907. Meta stock surged, I think 23% yesterday. Meta had announced a $40 billion stock buyback, and I believe they were cleared to some kind of thing with their VR headset. I guess the VR headset they make is being dropped a couple $100, but the big thing, I think there were worries whether they would, whether that was going to be like a monopoly or something like that. So I guess they are able to bring this VR headset company into kind of the Meta fold. Ray Dalio, I think there was one other thing I wanted to mention about one of these. Okay, so Starbucks. We talked about Starbucks. I don't go to Starbucks often. I'm sitting here having my morning coffee. I make my own iced coffee in the morning. But my grandma loves these caramel ribbon crunch frappuccinos from Starbucks. My grandma's like 93. That's like the highlight of her week is when I bring her over one of these caramel frappe crunches. And she always jokes my grandpa won't buy them for her because my grandpa said it's crazy paying $7 for a drink or whatever it is. So I don't go to Starbucks that often, but I will sometimes bring my grandma a caramel ribbon crunch frappuccino. I went over there on Sunday. We were playing some rummy, playing some dominoes, and I brought her one of her smoothies. And when I was going to pay with my credit card, the person goes, it's just going to have you answer a couple questions here. And I think I remembered hearing about this, but I just hadn't been to Starbucks in a while. Now Starbucks is doing the point of sale tipping thing, which is annoying people to no end. It's crazy. You go to places where it's literally just a cashier ringing you up. You're not even getting any service. And it's like, would you like to tip 20%, 25%, 35%? It's getting absolutely out of control. I've been trying to make an effort to pay in cash just so I can avoid the awkward moment of do I hit zero and not give this person a tip. And so I'd recommend more people using cash. I forget what bank it is. I thought some bank is offering like restaurants and small businesses incentives to go cashless. I think cash is a good thing. Cash gives us some anonymity. And also, we're seeing more complex systems go down. The power's out in Texas. A bunch of flights were canceled at LAX the other day because the power was out. If the power's out and all you got is a credit card, you're not going to be able to buy anything. If you got cash, you can still transact, and it's a bonus for businesses that take cash as well. Ray Dalio came out the other day and said, cash is not trash. Markets are weird and nothing makes sense, right? It's weird what's going on right now. Like, I think all of us feel like the economy is not doing well. But we got record job numbers, even though most of these jobs aren't well-paying full-time jobs. They're kind of crappy service sector jobs. Even though we hear more people are getting jobs, a lot of these people are picking up second and third jobs. It's not as if we have more people getting a first job. Companies do layoffs, the stock goes up. Markets are kind of trading on momentum and trading on machines and not really fundamentals. Like the world is just a very weird place right now. What do you guys think? And this would be a place where you guys could drop a comment. Where are you putting your money right now? What are you investing in right now? And are you investing at all, or are you waiting for a crash? If you are investing, what are you investing in? Are you buying some beaten down individual tech stocks? Are you buying into a mutual fund or a total stock market ETF? Are you buying dividend stocks? Are you buying into dividend funds? Is this rally that we're seeing in January, I hate to even call it a rally, but is this going to last? Is this just people buying back into the market, people who had sold off towards the end of last year? We had talked about Nancy Pelosi sold off like millions of dollars in Google stock at the end of the year, conveniently right before Google is going to have to, right before, what is it, the SEC or FTC, whatever, rules that Google is going to have to break off their ad network. Convenient timing there. But is this little January rally, is this just kind of getting a bump off companies announcing layoffs? Is this people buying back into the market after doing some tax loss harvesting at the end of the year? Or is this a turnaround? Is this going to last? These companies can cut jobs and get a bump in their stock price, but you can only cut so much, and this can only last so long until you actually have to show earnings and be profitable. We're kind of starting to see that the Fed is not as powerful as we think. Are these rate hikes really having an effect, or is it just inflation has kind of tapped people out? People have less disposable income, and the slowdown in demand is what's causing inflation to die down a little bit. I think a lot of us were expecting a crash. It might be kind of a slow drain, but never underestimate how far they can kick the can down the road. And again, maybe instead of a big crash like a lot of us have been expecting, maybe it's just kind of a slow decline in quality of life and people's pocketbooks. There's that example we always hear: if you throw a frog into a pot of boiling water, it will jump out. But if you put a frog into a pot of cool water and slowly turn up the heat, it will sit there and boil. And maybe that's what's happening in this country, right? Prices continue to rise. We continue to have supply chain issues. It's one product this month, the next product that month. Oh, it's lettuce. Now it's eggs. Now it's toilet paper. Eventually that item comes in back in stock, but then there's another item that we're short on. We're starting to see power go out more. We've had power systems crashing around the country. I guess all flights out of LAX got canceled the other afternoon because the power went out. We had the air traffic control system go out the other day. A couple weeks back, Southwest canceled 15,000 flights. Before that, Spirit Air was canceling thousands of flights. There's just kind of a slowdown, or there's kind of a decline in the reliability of systems in being able to count on things. I was kind of joking yesterday about how I had placed an order for a Smoothie King smoothie in the morning, wanted to kind of treat myself and get a smoothie, and I showed up and nobody was at the store a half hour after they were supposed to be open, after I had already paid for my smoothie. Now, is that the end of the world? No. Do I blame the employee? I mean, if I'm getting paid $11 an hour for a job that I don't really give a shit about, and if I lose a job, I can go get another low-paying service sector job. Like, what reason, what sense is there to really care? Also, we've talked about this in videos before, but, I have some friends who run restaurants, who own small businesses, and in the past, if somebody did like a no-call, no-show on you, you would just fire them and find somebody new. But now, when the person comes back into work 4 days later, after just having no called, no showed, you kind of just got to kiss their ass and welcome them back, because, good luck finding another worker. And, a lot of times when you go to third world countries, you experience things where, like, oh, maybe the train's going to show up today, maybe the train's not going to show up today, maybe the bus is going to be here, maybe the bus is going to be here 3 hours late. And the U.S. has never been like that, right? Like, things run on time, things run pretty efficiently, but we're starting to kind of see that kind of stopping. I kind of talked about this 400,000 without power in Texas. And it was kind of funny. I play in a sand volleyball league on Thursday nights, and so I was playing volleyball last night, and one of my friends who I play with, his dad came, and his dad was saying that normally for work, he's on the road about 4 days a week traveling, and he said he's kind of stopped all his travel, and he said, I'm just not going to fly until things get back to normal. He said there's so many interruptions, so many delayed flights, so many canceled flights. It's more of a hassle traveling than it's worth, and he said he's not going to get back to traveling until things kind of get back to normal. And one thing he kind of pointed out that was kind of interesting, he said, in the past, if your flight was canceled, whatever, the airlines would kind of have some sympathy for you. They kind of realized that they've kind of disrupted your life, disrupted your work, throwing things off. But he said now, it's just kind of a normal thing. Everybody's affected by this, so you're not really getting any sympathy from the airlines. Consumers are dipping into savings and taking 401 hardship loans at rates higher than we've seen in the past. 401k hardship loans are up 28% in the last year. And what a hardship loan is, if you take a loan out of your 401k, if you need money, there's certain reasons why you can do it. You incur I believe a 10% penalty, plus you have to pay income taxes on that money. So you're really kind of hurting your future retirement prospects, and it's kind of taking a big chunk out of your retirement funds. You also will have to pay that money back, and if you wind up leaving your job or losing your job, that money has to be paid back immediately. And with potential job losses coming in 2023, that could spell trouble for a lot of people. Consumer spending fell in the last 2 months of 2022, so it's at November and December. Remember back at Black Friday, they told us this is a record Black Friday, and I kind of called BS on that. And most people were like, no, it really is a record Black Friday. Turns out that was BS. It wasn't a record Black Friday. It wasn't a record Cyber Monday. It wasn't a record Green Monday. It wasn't a record holiday season. Consumer spending fell in the last 2 months of 2022. Citi says that credit card spending is down 5.7% in January. Washington Post had an article, "The big tech golden age is fading among tech layoffs and lackluster earnings. They thought the boom would never end." We also have an article from the Wall Street Journal. Google posts the first drop in ad revenue since the pandemic dip, decreased 3.6% since 2021. And we talked a few weeks back about how Google and Facebook are losing their dominance, right? Like more people are advertising on TikTok, more people are using influencers, more people are using content marketing. And so Google and Facebook are losing a lot of their dominance. Let's talk layoffs. So far for 2023, we have 269 tech. And keep in mind, these layoffs we're going to be talking about right now are limited to the tech sector. We have 269 tech companies who have done layoffs in 2023. A total of 85,207 tech employees have been laid off in 2023. If we look at the past year, I think it's closer to 150,000. So this is just in the past couple months. As far as big names, DraftKings laid off 140 as part of a reorganization. Baiju's laid off 1,500. Okta laid off 300. That's 5% of the workforce. Miro laid off 119, 7% of the workforce. Splunk laid off 325, 4% of the workforce. Another big name, Pinterest, laid off 150. Siren laid off 121. Wheel laid off 56, 28% of their workforce. Chain Analysis, the crypto company, laid off 44. That's 5% of the workforce. Xtero laid off 24. Match Group, which I believe is Match.com, laid off 8% of the workforce. And Vertical Scope laid off 22% of the workforce. Saw kind of a crazy video on Zero Hedge had an article. If you're a warehouse worker, this Boston Dynamics video is an ominous sign. They have a robot. And I forget the robot's name, but the robot can grab and move packages in warehouses. It's faster than humans. It's safer than a human. It's not going to get sick. It's not going to injure itself, and the company's not going to have to pay out a workman comp claim. And it works way faster than a person could. What could this mean for Amazon warehouses? One of the few, I hate to say that working in an Amazon warehouse is a good job or a great job. But, Amazon's paying $20, $25 an hour right now. I believe they give you benefits. I believe they have some, tuition reimbursement programs. There's worse, even though a lot of people dump on Amazon, myself included, there's definitely worse places to work. I've talked about, I got a couple buddies who started working at Amazon warehouses right before the holidays. They love the job. I think they said the sorting facilities are better than some of the other facilities. But one of my buddies is actually thinking about leaving his full-time job to go work in an Amazon warehouse full-time. I guess very, very flexible. He can basically leave a shift whenever he wants. He can pick up extra shifts, and it's all done through an app. He actually kind of likes it. But and warehouses in general can be decent jobs. At least it's better than like fast food and a lot of the service and the hospitality industry. But if these robots start coming out, warehouse jobs are going away. We got an article, record 285,000 Illinois residents saw their power shut off in 2022 due to non-payment. I think we had talked in some recent videos, but there's like millions of people who can't pay their utility bills. I thought this was interesting. A study recently came out and found that people who continue to wear masks, or people who considered themselves unattractive, were more likely to wear masks. And this also comes after a major analysis found that masks make little to no difference in regard to catching a beer cough or dying. And on Reddit, I hate Reddit. Reddit people are idiots. But on Reddit, Reddit's very, very pro-mask. And a lot of people on Reddit are like, oh, I think I'm a lot more attractive with a mask. I'm ugly. I'm going to wear a mask forever. And, if you want to wear a mask, fine. No skin off my back if you want to wear a mask forever. But don't try to push that on the rest of us. Apparently, UPS might be striking. UPS is the largest shipper behind the United States Postal Service. I believe for their part-time workers, they're asking for $20 an hour. They also want no cameras in trucks looking at drivers. I may have touched on this story the other day, but that's going to be relevant in the coming weeks. Peter Schiff had a comment the other day. He said he thinks the Fed is giving up on inflation and basically siding with keeping the stock market inflated over trying to bring down prices and bring down inflation. But Powell does say that they will stay the course. We talked about this Texas storm leaves 440,000 without power. I thought this was interesting. Chicago. Nearly half of Chicago public school students were chronically absent in 2022. That means they missed more than 10% of the school days. Chicago spends over $29,000 per student with absolutely horrible results. The schools are a joke. The schools are dangerous. A good chunk of the kids are not literate. Really kind of sad story there. Let's see. So, this Hunter Biden story, recently classified documents were found in a mansion that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden shared. Recent emails have surfaced from 2011 that showed Hunter Biden offering to trade info on Russian oligarchs to Alcoa for $55,000. And just so that we're hitting both sides, it looks like Mike Pence, they found classified documents in his home as well. I saw on Joe Rogan, that CIA guy, Mike Wallace, I forget what his name is, the CIA guy who's on Joe Rogan a lot talked about, he said basically every single administration winds up getting caught with classified documents. Things slip between the cracks. It really shouldn't be this hard to keep classified documents classified. But he said pretty much every single president after their term still has classified documents. So it's weird that they're kind of picking on Biden. Obviously, they want to get rid of Biden before 2024. They don't want him running. And we've recently heard that a lot of the Dems are concerned that Kamala Harris might try to run. She's very unlikable. I think a lot of people kind of forget that she's even vice president. They kind of keep her out of the spotlight. Again, she's not likable. She's not friendly. Like, you kind of just want to put her away and forget about her. But the left is kind of worried that she may decide to run in 2024. Apparently, the Department of Defense whistleblower has noticed a sudden increase in a variety of diseases and also negative reactions following a certain rollout of something from 2021 to today. They had talked about the numbers of total diseases and incidents for pilots. In 2016, it was 265. In 2017, it was 252. In 2018, it was 164. In 2019, it was 223. But in 2020, it spikes to 2,194. 2021, 2,861. And 2022, 4,059. Why do the number of incidents and diseases and illnesses for pilots, why is it skyrocketing in 2022 when the beer cough has kind of gone away? That's kind of weird. We had a 28% savings rate during the height of the Mexican beer cough when people were getting stimulus and unemployment. That number is down to just over 2%. It's kind of scary that there's just a 2% savings rate right now, and it looks like it's soon going to be under 2%. We had $1 trillion in disposable income wiped out. And we talk about this in almost every video. We have a consumer economy. 70% of our economy is consumer spending. We don't make anything. We just create debt and buy things with money that we don't have. But when nobody's able to save money, when people are running out of money and they can't buy things, our entire economy is at risk of collapsing. We're seeing a lot of warning signs we haven't seen since the Great Recession. Let's see. Starting to realize that the Fed doesn't have much control over the labor market or inflation. Here's kind of a crazy stat. A survey of millennials and millennials' parents recently found that 24% of millennials' parents pay their rent for them, and 17% of millennials' parents pay their mortgage for them. Think about that. A quarter of millennials, some millennials are 40 years old, a quarter of millennials, a quarter of potentially 40-year-old adults have their parents paying their rent for them. Is that the sign of a healthy economy when grown-ass men, grown-ass women have to have their parents pay their rent and pay their mortgages for them? Apparently, orange juice prices are going to be going up. Again, we talked about, this week it's one thing, the next week it's the next thing. The other week, lettuce was going up. I forget the reason for that, but I talked about I was at the grocery store, $7.99 for a 2-pack romaine lettuce that's going to last for, maybe one meal. Apparently now we're going to see orange juice prices going up. Cattle herds are falling. The prices of cattle herds are falling, which is going to mean that prices are going to go up. A few months back, a lot of the cattle farms couldn't afford to feed their animals, so they sent the animals off to slaughter to get some money. But that means they're not going to have as many animals to breed, which means there's going to be less meat a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. So if you think beef prices are high right now, just wait until 2024, 2025, when the real shortages kick in, because not enough cattle are being bred. Let's see. Do we got anything else interesting? It looks like that is kind of the news for the day. Again, would really appreciate it if you drop me a comment. I don't care if it's one word, a period, a comma, an exclamation mark, or you want to comment on today's stories. But drop a comment. Helps the video get seen by more people. If you haven't given the video a thumbs up, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below and ring the bell. If you need to pass a drug test, support our sponsor. Link in the description box below, QuickFix Synthetic, where you can buy synthetic urine, spiking agents, mouthwashes, or shampoos to help you pass a drug test. Anyhow, guys, that's all I got for you today. If you enjoyed the video, again, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good jazz, and I'll catch you on the next video. Later.